drinking Kool-Aid cameras like I did when I was 9. Cause I like to pretend that I haven't lost the time. In the end, the nostalgia, though it tastes fine, I can only drink a couple cause it feels like a lie. We'd play Halo and we'd lay low in our basement until the sun began to rise. We would go to school but not learn too much, cause it's hard to read when you've got tired eyes. Months go by, the time it flies, past the days that we drink Kool-Aid in the summertime. Years go by, the time it flies, past the days that we drink Kool-Aid in the summertime. They've been with me for some time, and it's nice to know that they still by my side. Friends are like stars, cause no matter how far, when it's dark outside, they will be your light. We'd play Halo and we'd lay low in our basement until the sun began to rise. We would go to school but not learn too much, cause it's hard to read when you've got tired eyes. Months go by, the time it flies, past the days that we drink Kool-Aid in the summertime. Years go by, the time it flies, past the days that we drink Kool-Aid in the summertime.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome everyone to episode 18 of Beyond Streaming. Things are a little bit different today. I am your host, Lainie, and this is my fill-in lovely co-host.
Moby J or Spencer, filling in for Tevin today, who's got some family obligations, but I'll try to do my best to
he chose family
over
justice. Us. Can you believe that?
Unbelievable. Who could do that, you know?
Who makes family events while you have to hang out with us? Huh?
Yeah, the out-of-town family should really check the SKIRATA Gaming calendar next time, because this is ridiculous.
Oh, it's Nana's birthday? Sorry, I have to pencil you in on a different day. I'm busy. Yep. I have a podcast that day.
Sorry, try again later.
Yeah, sorry. I'm booked. All right, guys. Hello, welcome into Beyond Streaming. As per usual, last 15 minutes of the episode, we will be taking questions from you guys, so make sure you get those ready. We have an awesome guest today. I cannot wait for the conversations. Promise, our guest is here. We do have a guest today. We are not clickbaiting you, but let's bring him on in here.
Hello.
Welcome, the great PrimitiveAK.
Welcome.
How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
How's the weather out there on this beautiful Sunday?
Surprisingly, not as bad. You know, it was like
Yeah.
90 degrees for a couple days.
Ooh.
It downpoured for a bit, and then it sort of lightened up. So weather's pretty good here for now, but it's probably going to be back to 90 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's supposed to get up to the hundreds for
Yep.
us this week. Yeah.
Hundreds?
Oh,
In
yeah.
Michigan?
Yeah. They say it's supposed to be like 100 or something in the
my Lord.
hundreds by Wednesday. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, it is hot and humid. Not fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I
partial
can do
weather here.
heat, but when it's humid, it's a no-go for me. Like Arizona heat, Vegas, oh, I love that. It's warm, but you're not sweating. You don't feel sticky. Felt fine.
Mhm.
Loved it.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we'll dive right in with the infamous Tevin question of, with your whole gaming career and stuff, how did it all start and where did it all begin for you in the gaming world?
That's a great question. It's a really long story, so I'm going to try to shorten this up
We got
as
time.
much as
Take up
possible.
all the time you want.
So back when I was about, this was actually right when YouTube first launched. Yes, I've been on YouTube since the site launched. My friend and I, we used to do animations with like Sonic and Mario sprites. They don't particularly exist anymore. Not too many people do them anymore because it's kind of an old thing. Nobody really does. But we used to make animation sprites a long time ago, and we gained about 12,000 subs off of that. That sort of died out. I think my friend we were getting older and we got busy with school and everything, so we just kind of stopped that for a bit. Back then, I had just started getting into gaming a little bit. I think this was right when COD 4 had came out. I uploaded a few videos here and there of gameplay, but I didn't have like a capture card. The capture cards were rare back then. Everybody was actually recording with their webcams.
Yeah.
That was a big thing back then.
Oh man.
So then I had stopped that for a bit because once again focused on school. And Modern Warfare 2 was about to come out. This was just towards the end of 2009, and I've really gotten heavy into that game. School wasn't really that hectic, so I had picked up a old 480p graphics recording capture device. That was the mainstream back then. HD capture devices weren't really a thing back then. So I started recording my gameplay, posting it on YouTube. Took breaks here and there, and then it just sort of took off. I joined Carnage back in COD Ghost when that came out, and by then I would think I was up to like 4,000 subs. Eventually kept doing that for a bit. I took a hiatus break for a bit and made a departure from Carnage back when just before BO3 came out, and I took a break. I joined a few other teams. I ended up joining Sir Grizz's team, for those that know Grizz. He started a sniping team back when Black Ops 3 just came out. Joined his team for a bit. Then I left his team for a bit and then went back to Carnage back in 2017 when World War II dropped. And here we are now, still in Carnage, still grinding. Proudly at 20,000 subs. I'm happy I've made it this far, and we'll see what happens in Modern Warfare 2.
That's amazing. Jeez. Started out literally just popping off.
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy ride. I'm happy to see where it goes and made a lot of great friends along the way that have helped me grow. And without them, I definitely wouldn't be where I am right now. So big shout outs to them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
As we were saying a few minutes ago before this all began, you're someone that I've just seen in the Call of Duty community for really as long as I can remember. And I kind of got involved early in AW, but took it a little more seriously in IW. But PrimitiveAK has been around for quite a while. And, it's just crazy to see that journey of how you began. Yeah, with early capture cards and webcams all the way up to 20K on YouTube. But what Call of Duty was it that really kind of, I know that relatively speaking, it's still early in your channel's life, but what was it that kind of projected you to 20K, or was it consistent?
That's a great question. It was a few things actually. So, Call of Duty's had its ups and downs. A lot of people don't know this, but I used to upload Battlefield on my channel quite a bit of some time ago.
Wow.
Right after, I think this was right when Battlefield 4 was towards the end of its life cycle. Battlefield 1 was about to come out. And at the time, I forgot what COD was out. I can't remember if it was either Advanced Warfare or World War II, one of those two. And what happened was COD was sort of on its really dead cycle. Like nobody really cared that much about it. It wasn't doing well on YouTube. I wasn't growing at all. And I had switched to Battlefield at the time. And I guess sort of what I had learned from SEO back in the day was I transferred that over to Battlefield. And my channel had grown, I think, 2,000 subs in about a month and a half or so. And bear in mind, this was when I had just stepped into the Battlefield scene for a bit. And at the time, I was competing with Battlefield creators that have like 500,000 subs, 1 million subs, 200,000 subs. Like I was competing with these guys, and my videos were outpacing theirs in the search results. And, you know, I did that for about a couple months to a year or so. The new COD was about to come out. So I was like, all right, do I make the decision to go back to COD or stay on Battlefield? Battlefield was sort of hitting that dying point again, went back to COD. The growth did slow down, but it did pick up again back in Modern Warfare 2019. That helped propel it a bit.
Wow. Jeez. Just constantly popping off.
One thing I learned with YouTube, it's a roller coaster ride. You could pop off for a month and gain like 10,000 subs, and then the next month you gain like 10. It happens a lot.
Just like mellows out.
Yeah.
It's a very common thing with Twitch too. I've noticed like you go through like a good like growth period, and then it levels out at one point and it slows down. So yeah. It's a very common.
Didn't know that you took that dive into Battlefield for a while, so that's kind of interesting.
I was playing that for a lot. I didn't expect to do it. I just played it on the side because I enjoyed the game a lot. You know, I like playing other shooters, and Battlefield was a game that was a little more on the difficult side, and I liked that difficultness. I don't even think that's a word, but I liked having that type of challenge in a shooter game. That's why I played it a lot. And eventually it got to the point where I had actually hit the #1 spot in the world for score per minute. So I was just like, well, maybe I should start uploading some videos on this for a bit. And, you know, I didn't want to do just the same videos that everybody else was doing. I started doing like tutorial videos, how to unlock this, how to get this amount of kills, how to get other stuff. And you know, I was getting gameplays that other people weren't getting. Like getting a 200+ in Battlefield is next to impossible, and I was dropping at least like 3 a day in that game. And you know, doing that in COD now is not really that impressive in my opinion. It's fairly easy to do, but doing that in Battlefield is just like unheard of. It was to the point where people started to know who my name was in Battlefield, and I kind of wish I had stuck with Battlefield. But it got to the point where certain people in the community would recognize my name, and sometimes they'd even ban me from their servers because they would think I was cheating. It was good times. It was good times. I kind of miss those days, but you know, Battlefield is on its dying breath, so I'm kind of done with that.
Yeah.
No kidding. I guess the accusations have been around for quite a while then. Wow.
Yeah.
Some things never change.
Right? They just get worse. That's all it is. So you started out with YouTube, and you still do YouTube, right? Like you still post videos, and do you still stream on YouTube as well?
So funny story for you. I used to stream on YouTube before I streamed on Twitch. And then I switched over to Twitch. So I'm considering going back because the growth on Twitch, I'm not gonna lie, it is. I will say this from an experience standpoint, and I'm sure a lot of creators would probably agree with me. It is 100,000 times harder to grow on Twitch than it is on YouTube when it comes to streaming. YouTube has a much higher discoverability capabilities. YouTube has things like titles, tags, thumbnails. You know, one of those things can blow you up. Like I would say 60% of my views that I get right now are from search results, people searching up tags. Twitch, you can't really do that. It's just sorted from the highest viewers to the lowest viewers. That's why it's so hard to grow.
Yeah, that is.
And I've expressed this numerous times on the timeline. You know, a lot of people agree with me. If you're already established on YouTube, it's much easier to transfer that fan base over to Twitch, and then you're already past like hundreds of thousands of streamers that are only getting one viewer. So yeah, I thought about going back to YouTube for streaming, but I haven't made that decision just yet. But I'm like 99% sure it's going to happen.
So you would recommend YouTube to a new, like, starting out streamer if they had to pick between the two?
If you are starting out with no following whatsoever, always start. I would 100% start on YouTube first for streaming. Twitch is just, there's no discoverability in my opinion.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Like you said with the tags, all it takes is one certain tag just for like.
Yep.
you'll
Like
go
on
off
update
with
nights,
just
this was
that.
back in Black Ops 4. I was and bear in mind, this is Black Ops 4. I was competing with Dismo. You know, they're all my friends. You know, I don't
Mhm.
see them as, you know, negative competition that I need to always
Right.
beat at every time. You know, they're friends, but at the same time, it is competition.
Mhm.
I was competing with those creators, K3, Dismo, all these guys. Back then, it was the wave to always stream on the update days in Black Ops 4. Everybody did it. Carnage members did it. Immortal did it. Espresso did it. And back then, you know, here I am. This was only when I had like, I think 13,000 subs at the time. And because my tags were a little bit different from everybody else's, I would still pull close to 300, 400. I think one time I even had 1,000 viewers in a
Wow.
Black Ops 4 stream during an update. And
Wow.
it's much easier to be discovered because of the tags and the titles and thumbnails. And my thumbnails weren't even that great back then. They were pretty mid. I didn't have a thumbnail designer like I do now. I did everything myself. And it's just YouTube streams are just far more easy to get discovered on.
I find that really interesting because a lot of the people that I talk to and see on Twitter and stuff will say exactly the opposite with
Mhm.
YouTube discoverability. And maybe it, like you said, SEO for you was really key. Like you learned how to use that to your advantage very early on, and maybe that's just something that they haven't mastered yet. But I just see a lot of people saying that YouTube streaming is kind of a dead end as far as the user friendliness and the ability
Mhm.
for people to actually find your stream.
That's
on
what
the
I've
main
always
page.
I've said it before. I thought that's how it always was. It was just harder to find because I've always seen
Yeah.
YouTube as just a place where you post videos, not for live streaming. So like, I mean, like when I open up YouTube, I hardly even noticed the live streaming section or anything. So like
Yeah.
hearing that, it makes actually a lot more sense knowing
Yeah, I
like
would agree with that to an extent. And the reason
Yeah.
for that is because the UI is definitely not user friendly.
Mhm.
I spend a lot of time trying to learn what works in this thing. And I'm still learning, obviously. If I had learned everything, I'd be at 20 million subs by now. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the UI, a lot of people don't even realize that you can add tags to your streams on YouTube. And when
Yeah.
I told people this, they're like, you can do that because when you go on the UI, the tags are not there to actually add.
Right.
It asks you to add a
Right.
title, a description,
Mhm.
a thumbnail, and then you hit go live. It doesn't actually
Mhm.
ask you if you want to add tags. So I think
Right.
that's what a lot of people are
So
missing.
where do you add the tags? Is it
So you
Is
actually
there a
need to go
certain
to the live stream page, like the public live stream page, kind of like how it is on the SKIRATA stream. And then you
Right.
go to edit video, and it'll take you to the creator studio, edit video, and then it'll ask you to add tags, and you'll notice the tag bar is
Oh.
empty. So that's part of the reason why a lot of people aren't getting discovered.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of research, a lot of digging, and just sort of pressing buttons to
Yeah.
figure out this stuff. But I'm a guy that likes to press a lot of buttons,
Yeah.
Yeah.
play around with stuff and learn things. So that's part of the reason why it's helped me grow.
So my issue is playing around clicking stuff without learning about it and just not knowing when I'm clicking and I click and everything goes wrong.
Yeah, I've learned to
But
the
I
best
would
way to learn
eventually
something is
figure
to
it
break
out.
it. The best way
Yep.
to learn something is to break it and then fix it later.
Yep. You realize, oh, how did I do that? I can't remember. Let me just click more stuff and get
Right.
back to it.
Yeah, it definitely seems like at this point the biggest benefit of Twitch over anything else is just the UI, and it is a lot more streamlined, at least from what I can tell, than the YouTube live interface. And I've uploaded a handful of videos on Facebook, and this could be a good segue to that can of worms. But I found that very challenging to figure out, and maybe they've fixed it in the last 6 months since I've used it, but
uploading a video?
the uploading videos and just the general creator end on Facebook, I found very difficult to figure out. So how's that gone for you as a Facebook partner? Have you mastered all of that as well as YouTube? And tell us a little bit about your experience with that platform.
Yeah, so Facebook, and I think a lot of people are probably not saying anything for obvious reasons. But what I will say from a public standpoint, I would say Facebook is the worst platform in existence when it comes to discoverability. I've had videos that have gotten 500,000 views, which I have never seen on my YouTube channel before. Never seen it on my Twitch channel. I've never had a platform where any video has gotten over 500,000 views.
Right.
But Facebook was the only platform that happened, and then after that, the videos after that, I gained a decent amount of followers from that. I had a Facebook homepage stream where I had 3,000 concurrent viewers, which was great. They featured me on the homepage for a bit. That helped out. I gained 300 followers from that, and then after that, I started uploading. Normally, when you have a huge stream or you pop off one day, normally the retention from those viewers, you will at least have 5% of those viewers that were in that stream returning to your videos.
Yeah.
I probably had less than 1% that actually came back to watch everything. And some people were telling me that they didn't even get notifications from my videos. Some people were telling me that they just weren't even seeing my channel in their like sub box on Facebook. And the discoverability on Facebook is basically non-existent. A lot of people don't realize I'm actually a VOD creator. There's two different types of contracts that people would get on Facebook. There was a VOD contract, which is strictly videos, and the other was a streaming contract where you have to stream X amount of hours per month. I was under a VOD contract. I just occasionally streamed whenever I felt like it. And if you do VODs on Facebook, it's almost next to impossible to get discovered as a gaming creator. And the tagging doesn't make any sense at all. The tags almost feel like they don't do anything. I would max out my tags on all of my videos, just like how I do on YouTube. And sometimes they wouldn't even pass like 10 views. There's a lot of internal problems with the site that I feel need to be made. And on top of that, this is just sort of a personal thing that myself and other creators have complained about, but it's not major. But being a partner on Facebook, you know how like you go into Twitch chat, you have a check mark and everything. Yeah, that's not a thing on Facebook. It's just like you go in people's chats and you just have a regular name. That's it. And it's just
so you can't really tell the partners from.
You can't tell the partners from just a regular Facebook user. And on top of that, there's a huge problem with Facebook where you have, let's say you have your personal Facebook, right? Your personal Facebook page with your first and last name. You then have your gaming page, right?
Yep.
The thing is that the only way for it to work is you have to have both of those accounts connected to be able to chat or own any type of gaming channel. And it's very difficult to separate the two. So you may end up commenting on someone's stream with your personal profile and you don't even realize it. There's like a really tiny arrow in the bottom right-hand corner where you can switch the profile. But when I talk to a lot of people, asking them why they don't switch to Facebook, they tell them, "Oh, I don't want my personal profile showing." I don't blame them at all. I don't want my personal profile.
That's what my biggest fear. Like I was actually thinking about it for a split second. Not
so they need
hardly,
to do a better job
but
of separating
I was
them.
thinking about it, and I'm like, but I don't want people like a lot of people know my name and where I'm from and stuff, but I don't need new people and random people knowing my first, last name, my date of birth, where, like, city, nothing. I don't need them knowing anything. So that was my biggest fear is like, you're going to have to link an account. You can't just have a gaming account and just leave it. Like it has to be linked.
Because I was going to create it under like a burner email address and then just put the gaming page on there. But they told me, like, no, it has to be under your personal. I'm like, are you serious? So luckily I figured out how to separate
catfish account just to create a gaming account. Goodness.
Oh boy. Yeah, I've definitely had that issue. Like I don't do a ton with Facebook gaming, partially for that reason. Not that I'm trying to keep my personal identity a secret, but like, I mean, I have a handful of close friends that I'll comment on and go to their streams and stuff. And it's like my real name right there. And it is kind of weird when you go by a certain alias on every other platform to then have your full name just pop up. Like I can see why that would be a problem for a lot of people, whether as a viewer or a streamer or VOD creator trying to get into that. That would be challenging. So I don't know. I've got a lot of thoughts about Facebook as a platform, but it's where do I even begin with this? Very weird. Like you were saying, the discoverability on there and the conversion rate, as a complete outsider with no contractual obligations to Facebook, it seems like they had some expectations for creators that were being signed that apparently could not be met in terms of retention or conversion rates and stuff. And that really seemed odd to me when you have people with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of subs on YouTube go over to Facebook and they're getting, 20 views on their videos. And just as a viewer, it's very weird to watch all that go down. And I don't know if there's a good solution for it, or how they can fix that, but I don't know. I mean, is there anything that you feel at liberty to comment on about that?
Yeah. So the whole thing with Facebook, and I'll try to limit this, because I'm still under NDA with a lot of the stuff going on at Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm still a partner there. But what I can say, and I told people this when people first started signing these contracts last November, right? So what I can tell you is that this was entirely Facebook's marketing fault. It was not the creator's fault. It was not anything with management. It was entirely Facebook's fault for why people were getting dropped. So the unofficial answer for people getting dropped was that they were expecting a 50% conversion rate from YouTube to Facebook. Now, anyone that's been on YouTube for even a year would know that is impossible.
Yeah.
That is literally impossible.
No way.
To put that in perspective, let's say I had 500,000 subs on YouTube. That means they want 250,000 people of my followers on Facebook. That is not happening. And like I said, that's from word of mouth. That's not anything I've read contract-wise. That's just what I have heard from what they were expecting from a trusted friend of mine that many of you probably well know. But if that is the case, then that is literally impossible. And that's a reason why a lot of people were getting dropped. And the contracts themselves, they were paying a stupid amount of money. We're talking well over the six-figure range for certain creators. I won't give exact numbers, but certain creators that you guys know from the COD community were at six figures, and they got dropped because the return on investment was basically nothing. And like I said, it's entirely Facebook's fault for assuming they would get a return out of that. And I warned people about this beforehand. I saw this coming a mile away. I'm like, Facebook's paying all this money, right? They're paying these creators all this money for minimal work, right? And the return of what they're getting, right, was basically nothing. Certain creators I know that have 250,000 subs on YouTube, right? They're gaining tens of thousands of views on YouTube like they normally do. They upload a video on Facebook, the thing gets 100 views, and they're getting paid six figures to upload that every day.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't blame, to an extent, I don't even blame Facebook for wanting to drop people, but I blame them because they signed all these creators, dishing out so much cash to these creators and expecting a return like that and be surprised when they don't get it. I'm just like, did you not see this coming from a mile away?
Right.
So that's the whole situation with that. That's the unofficial answer.
Yeah.
They did give us an official answer and the reason for why certain people were getting dropped, but us as creators, we're not stupid. We know what the reason was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like such a glaring mistake for them to make. Something that not even like a freshman marketing student would make by saying a 50% conversion rate. You don't even generally get that ever on videos. I mean,
there hasn't been a single creator on earth that has ever gotten a 50% conversion rate from any platform. Look at Ninja. Ninja was gaining, this was when he first started popping off. I know his viewership has died off a little bit, but when he first started popping off on Twitch, he was averaging well over 100,000 viewers per stream. And he eventually got signed to Mixer. When his first stream on Mixer, I watched it. He literally only had 30,000 viewers.
Wow.
30,000 viewers on Mixer. Compared to his 100,000 when he was on Twitch. Jeez. So if a creator as big as Ninja can't pull that off, what makes them think any other creator is going to be able to do that?
Right.
The most famous gamer in the world, the exceptional case, getting 30%, like that. No, that.
Yep, and it just kept falling off. It fell off even more. I think he dipped below as low as 5,000 viewers before Mixer ended up obviously disbanding and that site shut down. Now he's back on Twitch. I don't know how many viewers he gets on Twitch. I don't particularly watch him, but I know it's definitely not 100K anymore. But it's still way more than what he would have gotten on Mixer.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's crazy. Oh, I'm glad I didn't go to Facebook.
I mean, at the end of the day, the creator still took home the W. Because I mean, all these creators, they got paid for the time that they were on the site. So a lot of people got signed in November. Some of them got dropped in February. Some of them got dropped in May. They still got paid all those months. So at the end of the day, the creators still took home a W, and Facebook's the ones that ended up taking a beating for it financially.
Yeah. Yeah. So where do you think Facebook gaming goes from here? I mean, do they double down on other elements that are working as opposed to all of that, or is it going to keep growing with the whole meta stuff that they've got in the works? Or
to be honest, I still don't fully understand what the point of meta is.
Yeah,
to be completely honest with you,
I don't think anybody does.
I don't either.
Yeah, I think what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to just focus on what they have right now in terms of their partners. I don't think they're going to sign any more people, because I've gotten DMs left and right of people asking me to help get them signed on Facebook. And I told them, I'm just like, that's just not in their, it's just not in their plan right now. So I don't think they're going to sign any more people for a while. I think they're going to work with what they have right now. Obviously, not every creator got drops from their Facebook program, but the ones that they do have, they're probably just going to stick with that for now and try to reapproach the whole partner thing on another scale to help improve the platform. Because right now, I just don't see Facebook competing with YouTube or Twitch anytime soon with the way the platform is. There's a lot that still needs to be done.
Yeah, it seems like they would need to change their public perception from being like the boomer app and stuff, like the thing that your grandma uses.
It's a heavy boomer app. Very heavy boomer app.
You got to think of the demographic that they're trying to reach with gaming content, and obviously there are a lot of like millennial and of course and Gen X gamers, but it's like, who uses Facebook? I get on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. And the only time I get on Facebook is just literally see what like my old family members are up to.
Literally, that's all I have it for now is just my family on there.
Yeah, and so the times that I do come across my gamer friends on there with their streams and stuff, it's usually whenever I'm checking for other reasons, and it's like, iCam's World is live on Facebook. I guess I'll talk about Rebirth for a bit or something. But it's like, even for me, it's not even in my like. I don't think about it as a gaming app at all.
Yeah, so, I don't.
Like a streaming app.
That's actually a big reason I forgot today was my godson's communion. I don't use Facebook, and that's how all of the older people in my family. That's how they like send out invites now is Facebook events. You don't get it in the mail like you used to. You don't get a phone call. You don't get a text. It's a Facebook invite, and I'm like, all right, cool. I say I'm going like a month ago when you invited me, but then a month down the road, I'm going to forget that's happening. And I'm like, I don't use that app at all. And then especially if it's like for gaming to watch someone game, I'm hardly going to be on it.
One thing I will say about Facebook, because I feel like I've been saying more negative than positive, so I do feel like I need to give them some credit on something, is I do feel that they do a decent, not an excellent, but a decent job at trying to help their smaller creators. The only issue with it, however, is that you obviously need to be a partner to be able to receive a lot of these opportunities. Me being a partner, I already have my foot in the door with a lot of that. They do give a substantial amount of opportunities to be featured on the homepage. And I will say Facebook homepage is the best way to describe it is cracked. I was featured on the homepage twice during Black History Month. They were featuring Black creators on the homepage during February. And I had both streams, I had averaged 3,000 viewers on both of them. Ocean did it as well. For those that know, the Ocean OPC, he's done it as well. He was featured, received well over 2,000 viewers. So yeah, Facebook homepage is very good. You can get a ton of viewers if you receive the opportunity. I would say there's at least an opportunity once a month to be featured on homepage. With it being Pride Month, they're featuring LGBTQ creators this month. Obviously, I don't fall into that category, but power to the creators that are in that category. They're getting opportunities as well, regardless of follower count.
That's awesome that they have that for sure.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be a little more forthcoming with opportunities for smaller people to be featured. And that kind of goes back to the whole issue with discoverability on Twitch, where everything is ranked for the most part, in terms of your viewer count. So,
Yep.
you open the Warzone directory, you're not going to see the people that are averaging 10 viewers or something until you really scroll a while. And that can be a big challenge. I will say they've done a better job with the recommendation list and stuff. That it's been a couple years now that they've been working on that, I think. But so from time to time, I see people on there that I click on and stuff. But yeah, it seems like Facebook and YouTube, at least in that respect, there's a little bit more of an opportunity for the small people to get their foot in the door. And being featured on the homepage, that is pretty crazy. But people say the Facebook comments are a lot worse than other platforms. Is that true? More toxic?
I would say it's really only an issue as a bigger creator. The only time I've ever had an issue with either spam or just negative comments has been when I was featured on homepage. A lot of people don't understand it, but like you need to understand the thing with Facebook, like you said, it's a boomer site. People on that site are not used to seeing the high caliber of gameplay that we're used to seeing on YouTube, right? Swag getting a 30 bomb on YouTube, that's tradition. Everybody expects that. Or, any other creator, Lucky Charms, any mainstream Warzone player on YouTube, you expect to see at least 30 kills almost every video. That is unheard of on Facebook. Anything over 15 kills on Warzone, you are considered a cheater. I don't know if we blame skill-based matchmaking for that, or just the fact that Facebook has such terrible creators when it comes to gameplay-wise. No offense to them, but I'm sorry. Most of the people on that site don't know how to play, if I'm being completely honest, with the exception of one guy who's actually very good at the game. But a lot of the people on Facebook, they don't get over like 10 kills. And they're used to, that's the standard on Facebook. They're not used to seeing people get 20 bombs left and right. So when I was on homepage, I think I was actually playing Vanguard on my first homepage stream, and I had gotten like 4 200 plus gameplays within an hour. And somebody told me, somebody comment, multiple people came to my stream commenting like, he's like, oh, where's your Cronus plugged into? What cheats you have installed? I'm just laughing my ass off the whole time.
Oh my goodness.
Those are the people I call Derek's. They're like the male Gen X Karens, and they're the gamer dads. They get on
Josh or something. Derek. I like
Josh
Derek better
too. But Derek,
Derek.
The guys that get home from work and they drop a 4 bomb on Warzone and think that getting 10 is like peak gaming ability. Then you get people up there getting 30 and 40 bombs or something, and that's like, wow, you're cheating.
It's very prevalent. If you get anything over like 15 kills on Facebook, you're basically a cheater.
Which is crazy.
I mean, that's what makes it more fun, in my opinion. I love the comments. It's
if I ever need to hype up my ego, I know where to go for a little bit. Just be like, please, just call me a hacker. Tell me you think I'm good.
So, for those of you that are watching live, of course, we'll be doing Q&A here in a little bit. So if you have any questions for Mr. AK that you'd like to ask, be sure to put them in chat and we'll get them featured here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, I do want to talk a bit about Modern Warfare 2, the elephant in the room. And obviously you said that MW19 was kind of a big time for your YouTube channel. And I think a lot of people had some good growth there. But what do you have in mind? Like, what are your expectations for this game? And do you think it's going to receive the same level of hype or something near it that MW19 did?
Yes, I think it's going to far exceed what MW 2019 was capable of, and I think it's going to be riding off of the success of MW2 in 2009. Obviously, Modern Warfare, just the name alone is enough to bring people that haven't played the series in a long time to come back to the game. I mean, look at Modern Warfare 2019. A lot of people didn't like the game. I myself despised the maps. I think that was his biggest fault, was the maps. But that game brought back a lot of people that haven't touched COD in 10 years. And one of my colleagues at work, or at least where I used to work, they hadn't played COD since Modern Warfare 2. They came back to 2019 to play it, and now they're excited to try the new one, Modern Warfare 2. So I think the name alone is enough to bring more hype to the game, which is great. I have my concerns, like every other COD player should, but I think it will be a phenomenal game, and I think it's going to far exceed anyone's expectations in terms of performance.
Mhm.
Wow. That was pretty affirming. I like that.
Yeah.
I know when we talked back in back in March, and for those of you that also don't know, AK and I and a bunch of the SKIRATA guys got to get together
Minus
in
Lainie.
Jersey. Minus Lainie, she had to leave a little bit earlier, unfortunately. But we were talking about this, and I know I was a little skeptical about the prospects of MW2, but you definitely sound like you believe in this game, which is cool.
Yep. And this is
Yeah.
coming from someone that's been playing
Yep.
literally since COD 2. I've never felt more confident on the success of a game before. The last time I felt this confident was Black Ops 3, and I was right about that game.
Yeah.
People had doubted it. I said, no, Black Ops 3 will be one of the best CODs we've received in a very long time. And it turned out to be exactly that.
Yep.
People had their doubts about 2019. I told them, I was like, yeah, we'll probably hate the game, but everyone else is going to love it. Turns out that's exactly what happened. So the same thing for BO4. People were concerned because I don't know if you guys remember, but the rumor for BO4 when it first got leaked was that it was supposed to be like a hero-based shooter like Overwatch or something like that.
Oh yeah.
You guys remember that leak? People were concerned it was going to be terrible. I'm just like, no, the game is going to be perfectly fine. Just you watch.
Yeah.
And come to find out, it was exactly that.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and it seems like Modern Warfare 2019 has still like held people's attention for years now. Like a lot of the IRLs that I talk to on occasion who are casual Call of Duty fans, they're not in the creator world, they're not in COD Twitter. If I talk to them and say, what games are you playing? They'll be playing S&D on Modern Warfare.
Mhm.
They may have picked up Cold War for a couple months or something. They don't play Vanguard. I don't know anyone that does. Except a couple, and they're all just still playing S&D on there, which is crazy and goes to show you the power of the Modern Warfare sub franchise, if you will, and I guess just how good of a game that was. Like you, I wasn't a big fan of the maps, but it sure worked at a popular level.
Yeah, S&D players are going to be in for a treat this year, I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm very happy to see the success of Search because that was sort of a dying breed for a bit in terms of performance with that on YouTube. Because I know obviously there's a lot of Search and Destroy creators. People like what's that guy's name? Futives. He helped bring life back to that. Props to him. Really great guy, really talented. He helped bring a lot more attention to Search and Destroy back in Modern Warfare, and it's thrived off and helped a lot of other creators, which is great. Seek, great friend of mine. Me and Seek were a lot closer than people realize. He's actually been one of the main people that's been helping me out grow on channel. I've helped him grow a little bit, give him some ideas, and he's super excited for Modern Warfare 2. He's really ready to jump right in. We're actually going to be working together on a few things, SEO and strategy wise. So I think Search is going to be really successful for a lot of people. And I may dabble into it a bit, but I don't think I would ever have it as a mainstream type of thing on my channel. But I'm happy to see that it's the S&D creators are loving it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started to get into S&D before Cold War. I was really into it for a while, so I was like, I'm gonna have to hop back into it when the new one comes out. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I never really saw a lot of hype for it in Vanguard at all, even in the early days.
No.
Like our boy Sam dropped V2 Rocket on S&D. I think it was he didn't get it. It wasn't the first in the world. It was like second, but even so. It got like no views and nobody cared, which really disappointed me because like he was super hyped about it, and in a normal Call of Duty world that would be like pretty cool and people would like it, but it just didn't really deliver like it should have. So it's been a weird year on Vanguard, we'll say that.
Yeah, that's true.
So do you what do you see for your own plan with that? Are you going to stream more? Are you going to double down on YouTube, or how's it looking for you?
Yeah, so my approach for any new COD, I always focus strictly on videos for the first 2 weeks of the game. I actually don't stream on midnight release anymore. Like I used to do that years ago, but I stopped. And I'll say this for any creator looking to start off or maybe grow their channel when a new COD drops, I cannot stress this enough. If you are a smaller creator, videos are far more important than anything. Nobody cares about a stream on day one because all the bigger creators are already streaming on day one. You are not going to grow. I cannot stress it enough. Videos, videos, videos. Get as many videos out when a new COD drops, because the bigger guys are usually too busy streaming, which is okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. It works for them. But if you focus on videos, right, when a new COD drops, there aren't going to be that many videos out on day one. If you're one of the first people, and usually I'm one of the first people to get these videos out on day one, you're going to start growing a lot faster than everybody else because you got those videos out before everybody.
Yep.
Cool.
So definitely videos is going to be my focus for about, like, I'll still stream here and there, obviously. You know, if I have time, I finish all my videos. I'll kick in a stream here and there, but videos is going to be my main focus, pumping out as many videos as possible.
That's a good idea.
Awesome. That makes a lot of sense, and I think that'll be really helpful for people who are trying to do videos and streaming, but don't know exactly where to go with the new COD.
I'm taking mental notes right now. Write
it down. No, the release week is always unreleased day is always such an insane time. I feel like for every YouTuber on the planet, like leading up to it, and then the actual week itself, it's just like, you never leave your office or your setup or whatever.
Yeah. If people aren't playing it, they're watching the big guys. So it's like,
and it gives me bad memories of World War II when the servers were like down for 4 days. That was a little rough launch, but I'm hoping they'll have their stuff together for MW2, and we won't have to worry about that.
Didn't something like that happen when Warzone went live?
I don't remember.
Didn't servers go down for like an hour, a couple hours or something? I remember there was like issues with people getting booted offline and their like PlayStations were kicking them out of the game and stuff.
I think that was a console thing because I didn't have that issue on PC.
Yeah, it was a console thing. Yeah.
It's always a console issue. I say that as a PlayStation gamer, but
not anymore.
Yeah. I can say these self-deprecating things. It's okay.
It's okay. It can take a couple hits. It's all right.
Well, that's really cool. I can't wait for that game to come out.
Yeah,
October can't come soon enough.
I know, yeah.
But the chat has been going kind of crazy. I really wanted to comment on things early on because we had a lot of people here at the very beginning just saying crazy
I want to clear up. I am not 35 years old.
Oh, I didn't
Tevin.
see that.
My own co-host is in chat, supposed to be supporting us. See, and people say crazy. I'm the mean one.
35.
I have proof that he's the mean one, man.
Yeah, there's an ongoing feud between Lainie and Tevin. If you guys haven't caught on to that in previous episodes,
literally since day one, it's never gonna end.
Yeah. Oh wow, we had Mr. Reaper Reaps in the chat. We'd love to see that.
Hey. Special appearance.
I know you two had some fun moments in New York and Jersey, which was a good time. These two, man, for AK and Frankie have some of the best banter on Twitter when it comes to stuff.
People think we're serious too. That's the funniest part.
It'll seem like you're beefing, and like obviously not, but people don't catch on to that, or you'll gang up on people that are acting like complete clowns on the timeline, and it's just it's beautiful. we absolutely love to see that. This Cheyenne says some nice things about AK here. One of the most professional, reliable, and hardworking guys I've met in the community. So much respect for him. Wow.
That's my TikTok and YouTube Shorts editor. Big shout out to him. He's one of my favorite guys that's been helping me out. He does all of my edits for TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Really professional guy. He gets the work done quick, and he's reliable. I love the guy.
Wow.
Good to know. Duly noted. Oh man.
Write that name down.
Exactly. You never know. You never know. Okay, so we'll do the joke question before a serious question, but
Oh,
when are you going to give Tevin the ice cream date that he deserves?
I mean, shoot, when you in Jersey again?
Tevin's like, I'm on
day.
my way.
I'm going to COD Major. I'll be there. Let me know.
Yeah, I really wanted to get back this summer, and a few days after I was there, Landon messaged me and apologized for completely blowing us off, but and said, "Oh, we got to reschedule this summer." I'm like, I want to, but get the whole gang together for a collective ice cream date, I'd be down. That was a good time. We got Dawson here asking, have you tried Facebook's short form content, aka Reels? If so, how can you compare it to TikTok and YouTube Shorts?
Great question. So I can't comment on this one very well because I haven't experienced with it enough. I only uploaded one reel on Facebook, and I would say it did decent, but I would need to upload more videos to better answer this question. It's literally just 2 days ago, I was offered a Reels bonus program where I essentially get paid to upload Reels, but I haven't uploaded Reels yet. I was actually supposed to get on that later today. So once I upload more Reels, I can better answer that question for you. I'm probably going to start by just re-uploading my TikToks up there instead of uploading new ones that haven't been posted. And then once I have those posted and we'll see how it progresses, then I can better answer that. What I've been told is that it is good. The discoverability is pretty decent, but I'll be the judge of that when I upload some more videos up there.
Yeah.
Cool. Good answer. So going to 0 degrees or Ulysses here. For everyone, what is your favorite thing about being a streamer or being in the gaming space?
Favorite thing? A lot of people probably wouldn't expect this answer, but my favorite thing about being streamer in the gaming space is meeting a lot of different people. I've been in this community for a very long time. I may not be the biggest creator, which I'm very well aware of that, but if you ask pretty much any mainstream guy that's in the COD scene, you say the name PrimitiveAK, they're gonna be like, yeah, I know that guy. I've been with a lot of these creators since they first started. I've been with Dismo since he's had 0 subs. I've known K3 for a little bit when his channel first started popping off. Pretty much every big mainstream YouTuber that you know of, I've known them for a very long time, been friends with them for a very long time. Not just creators, but industry leaders. Activision, I've known a lot of the people that have worked there for a while. They've helped me out. I helped them out. Other gaming studios, just the people that you meet really matters the most. I had the pleasure of meeting Charlie Intel, the guy that runs the account.
Oh, wow.
I met him at the COD event in California a while ago. Really nice guy. Sat down and had a chat with him for a bit. Sponsors, I've met them all before.
Yep.
And, just meeting, I would say connections are definitely very important. Meeting as many people as possible, having conversations with people. And it's not just the gaming industry, but just any industry in general. Connections are everything because you never know when you might need their help with something in the near future. And just being able to have that connection is pretty huge. So definitely the best part about it is the people that you meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to agree with that. The people that I met just through gaming alone is insane. And then streaming is a whole nother world, and you combine them and it's just like, I met SKIRATA, and now I have like longtime friendships that I've met someone my first day on Twitch, and they are still a consistent friend in my life, and it's crazy to me. I'm like, I have friends that I met like months ago that I don't talk to anymore. Like I talk to these people on a daily basis, and it's really cool. So yeah, I have to say definitely the people that I've met for sure.
Yeah, and I guess we're going to go 3 for 3 here because for me, it's also the people. But I like kind of bouncing off what you said, Lainie, like I hardly talk to anybody that I went to high school with, like ever. One of them is a viewer in my Twitch chat from time to time, but I don't really keep up. Of course, I've moved a couple times, but like the IRLs have kind of fallen off for one reason or another. Meanwhile, people that I've met years and years ago in the Call of Duty world are still around. And just to use one example from our chat, we have Mr. Reaper Reaps. I met him literally 4+ years ago on Infinite Warfare Year 2, and I've met him a few times IRL. We're pretty close, and I don't know, you can't really get that many other places, I feel like. So I really, really appreciate the community aspect of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so okay, this is an interesting question, and this is all AK because he's had his fair share of clan experience back in the day. Can a Call of Duty clan grow on YouTube today? From Brad.
That's a good question. So I'm not going to sugarcoat this answer at all. Right, I'm going to be very blunt. I'm a very honest person. I don't lie. All right, so I'm just going to be straight up with you. It would be very difficult if you are starting from literally nothing right now. Not impossible, but difficult. You would need to strategize exactly what you want your clan to be. Do you want it to be a content style team like Carnage? Do you want it to be an esports team? Obviously, an esports team is more expensive. You have to pay your players. You have to pay for travel, everything. So you need more capital to start off like that if you're trying to do that type of clan. But I'm assuming you're referring to just like a content clan with a bunch of creators uploading videos together. It would be very difficult if you're starting from nothing. But if you have a bunch of friends that you already have that just want to upload videos together, that's a little easier to do. The best time to start that would probably be now before the new COD comes out. But it will be very difficult to grow a clan if you're just starting.
Yeah. Appreciate the honest advice there.
Yeah.
Okay. Serality is here. God love him. And this is going to trigger me. I know it. But which COD is better in your opinion? IW or BO3?
Definitely BO3 without question. IW was very good, and it obviously got way more hate than it needed, in my opinion. Yeah. But BO3 was essentially the perfected jetpack COD, and IW just sort of ran off of the success of that in hopes that it would overtake it, but it didn't. The content support for BO3 was a lot better also. BO3 had a much better stream of content, and it was to the point where Treyarch knew that their game was better than Infinite Warfare because they supported it another year. Right when people were hating on IW, they were done with the game. It wasn't receiving much content drops. They released more content for BO3, more supply drops, more weapons. I will say the one thing they screwed up was the supply drops. Locking the weapons behind supply drops was a very stupid move. I will say also one thing IW did get right was the supply drop system in that game. I forgot what it was called. I think it was called Salvage or something like that. That's by far the best system that we've ever gotten for unlocking blueprints or weapons. So IW got that right, but I just think BO3 was a better overall game, and it had a very high skill gap.
Well, I think I can agree with a lot of that. I had better memories on IW, but as far as the game goes,
it's a shame because I liked IW. I thought it was a fun game, but I stayed on BO3 because not a single one of my friends was playing IW anymore. Like I hit Master Prestige on IW and then I was done with the game. You know, I always try to hit max level on every COD. So once I hit max level on IW, I just went right back to BO3.
Yeah. So kind of going off that, do you think it was a mistake or a good idea to put out MWR with IW like they did?
That was a bad move. They should have never released that.
Yeah. I think it 100%. Kind of split the player base, which
not
was
only
not,
did it split it, but it just left a bad taste in people's mouth. The remaster really wasn't that good, in my opinion. Not to mention they remastered like one of the most boring CODs, in my opinion. Right? I'm gonna just come out and say it. COD 4 was a very boring COD for me. I didn't enjoy it that much when it first came out. It was very bland, very boring. There wasn't much to really do. The maps were very big and wide open. You would get sniped a lot. Modern Warfare 2 was the COD that changed everything. That's the first COD where they had custom kill streaks. First COD where they had custom classes with better camos. So that's when I really fell in love with the series. But COD 4, when I heard it was getting remastered, I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. I didn't even get the max camo in NWR. I think like I hit like Prestige 2 and then I was done with the game.
Like, I kind of understand why they did it, just in terms of how like awful the reaction was to IW, like the trailer anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't touch IW for the first like 2 months of the game. I was one of those people that I picked up COD 4 Remastered and I just sat there and I played Shipment and did that until I got so bored that the jetpacks seemed appealing. And I know so many people that played that for like 2 days and then completely quit and went back to BO3. Like, there's just no point. But yeah, that was a very weird time in the Call of Duty scene for sure. Okay, so Tevin would like to know, how do we feel about COD having 2 years of development and play compared to the yearly release?
So, just to re-clarify, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It was officially confirmed that we're on a 2-year cycle now, right?
I don't know.
For some reason, I never saw any news about that. I know it was rumored, but I never like saw like an official statement saying that we're on a 2-year. But I'm assuming that we are now. I think it's better that we're on a 2-year cycle now, but it's only going to be good if the content in the current COD is going to be supported for that whole 2 years. It needs to be supported heavily. If we're receiving the same stream of content that we are right now with Warzone in Modern Warfare 2 for 2 years straight, then yes, 100%, that's a good thing that we should be on a 2-year cycle. But if it's on the content stream that Vanguard is getting currently for 2 years straight, then we're in a lot of trouble. That's not going to work. On top of that, they need to make sure that they don't shift their entire focus to Warzone 2, because that's a big concern that myself and other creators have, is that Modern Warfare 2 is just going to get pushed to the side once Warzone 2 comes out, and nobody wants that. It's not good YouTube-wise, and it's not good for the creators as well.
Yeah. So
if we receive the content that we're getting in Warzone currently for 2 years straight in Modern Warfare 2, then yes, that's I think it's going to be very good for the game.
Yeah, I always felt like Modern Warfare 2019 could have been a 2-year COD. The way that they were doing the content toward the end of its cycle, where like season 5 and 6, I thought were really good. The Halloween Haunting of Verdansk that year was probably my favorite Warzone event ever.
Yes, yeah, that was my favorite.
Like, in that state, I feel like that could have gone on for a while without people getting bored or stale. And I am kind of afraid of it.
Yeah,
like
if there was any time to do a 2-year COD, it was definitely Modern Warfare, and they missed that opportunity.
Yeah. And you think that, like, I hope they don't look at Vanguard and say, "Oh, so this is how multiplayer is. So let's just do Warzone 2 forever." Like, totally, take that as a lesson and shift away from multiplayer. When in reality, Vanguard is the anomaly, not the. It's not the norm. Or God, I hope it isn't. Like, that would be the wrong takeaway in my opinion. But I don't know. It should be cool to see. Now, we could probably wrap things up with this one. Dawson would like to know if you have the best swordfish shot in BO4.
1 second. I got to bring up the mic for this.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
Any objections from the chat to that one?
Yeah.
Oh,
short and simple.
That was a really underappreciated game in its time, at least by me. I know a lot of people loved it right off the rip.
I loved BO4 so much.
It had a lot going for it. And then compared to what we got after.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, this has been really great. I've been wanting to get you on for really since the beginning of the podcast, but getting to meet up in Jersey and stuff kind of solidified that for me. And I absolutely love your takes on Twitter, like whether it's political or gaming or whatever. Like, you're always just out there and you're ready to go no matter what. Just
I'm an open book. I talk about everything, and I say it straight up on Twitter because I honestly just I don't care.
Exactly.
If I post what's on my mind on my Twitter, if people don't like it, they're more than welcome to unfollow. I'm not going to be offended over it. But I like to talk about everything. I'm an open book.
That's good to have.
It is. Yeah, it's good to have people that aren't just totally afraid of losing their followers, that they can't be bothered to say anything original. So we love that about you for sure. But I don't know, Lainie, you got anything else for Mr. AK here?
Nope, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, since you kind of got us started, I guess I will show us out. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, if you're new, make sure you leave a sub, turn on notifications for more podcasts, Call of Duty content, Apex, and more. And if you're listening after the fact, be sure to follow, give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And, we'll be back in a couple weeks with someone else, another great content creator. But be sure to check the description or the show notes to connect with AK. You follow him on Facebook and Twitter, sub to the YouTube. Do you have TikTok?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, we'll put that in there too. I didn't get that beforehand. But yeah, thank you guys so much for episode 18. This has been really fun. And, hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Take care.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.